will maybe start speaking about examples, because that's the best to explain. I am the example of good Danish work. I'm a Lithuanian diplomat, the first generation of diplomats born in Vilnius University, because not like Ukraine, Soviets didn't allow us to have diplomatic service, so we created it from scratches. But Denmark...
Good for you, actually.
Yes, I also think so. But Denmark, from our revolt, because we were first to revolt in the Soviet Union, started to coach us. It was a division of labor, Swedes with Latvians, Finns with Estonians, Danes with us. And you baby stepped us. And it was a great job. Thank you. Because in 3 days, on Friday, we will celebrate 22nd anniversary of our membership in EU because of you. Here I have somewhere Lithuanian ambassador Neilas Stankevičius, with whom we then concluded talks in December, cold night of December in 2002. I still remember your Prime Minister Rasmussen asking nasty questions, but okay, we did it. What I wanted to say, you know, nobody believed us, nobody wanted us in, to be honest, except maybe Danes, because we were knocking to the doors not only you, but also to NATO. You know, to NATO, those nasty Lithuanians, Kaliningrad will be detached, we will have nuclear war. No, they are indefensible, forget about that. Danes believed in us. You found some Germans, some Americans. We had a war against the West, and we won it. But it was a system, it was a division of labor, all Nordics, they were with us, and we won it. And when we joined in 2004, first things that we asked, what about Ukraine? What about Belarus? What about Georgia? What about Caucasus? Oh my God, nobody wanted to hear those questions. So we more or less learned all the tricks you did with us. Now we started to do those tricks and play with the East. And it was a drama. Remember 2013, Lithuanian EU presidency. Euromaidan actually started in Vilnius. That's where Yanukovych said, no, I will not sign that association agreement. Well, okay, we will see what will happen. You had your revolutions, we started the fight, and we are still fighting. So I believe wholeheartedly, though it took some years, actually it took the full invasion into Ukraine to convince West Europeans and EU countries that, you know, candidate status can be granted to Ukraine. I believe wholeheartedly that we can make Ukraine member of EU until 2030. It sounds ambitious, I know. It is a full membership, not kind of symbolic, strange Russian or French sometimes membership, but a real one. When you kill all the Soviet viruses in your body, when you become wonderful, growing, strong, you know, economically wonderful state. We are now lucky people. We are much richer than most of the South Europeans. We are getting closer to Brits. Well, we still have to run a bit till you reach Danish levels, but we grow like that. And I remember my salary in '93 was $5 a month. Yeah, so you can do miracles. So, but okay, let's turn now to those Danish tricks and how can we try to do it. First of all, we have to defeat Russia in Washington, D.C. That's the biggest problem today, because Europe is okay. I'm former ambassador in Washington, D.C., 2010-15. You know, Russia is operating well in Moscow, in Washington. During my times, they had 3,000 spies in the embassy, 3,000 spies. 100 working just with former Soviet Union, 5 just with me, speaking fluent Lithuanian. So they have resources, they have bribes, they have money, they are brainwashing Americans. So we have to start our fight. In a way, you did it for us. You know, I have like 25 million of Americans of my descent. It means Central and Eastern Europeans. We have a coalition. 25 million people. It's not you know, small number, but we have to organize it. I went to Ukrainian village in Chicago in January with my little organization called United for Ukraine. It's impressive, but it's still not organized enough. We need 10 or 15 million Americans of Polish descent to help you. My little million I have in America, you have two Ukrainian millions. I need American Jews to help you, and they are kind of helping you. I need Cuban and Latin societies to help you, but you have to connect the dots. We need to fight in each state, and we can win. It's easy. It will not be this president, but it will be next American president who will invite Ukraine to NATO, I promise you. But we have to work hard. Then, when we finish the job with Ukraine, I think in 2030, it will naturally finish the job with Moldova, and I think Caucasus. We have to wait for elections on June 7th, when Armenia will finally detach from Russian chains, and we will still have to deal with Georgia, but that's okay. We can do it. Then we go to this Russian question that you raise here. And here, yes, we have a deep problem, much deeper than, because what I just spoke, it is decolonization of Soviet Union still. Now we speak decolonization of Russia. And here again, Washington comes first. In Washington, we have internal problems of saving Russian Empire for a century or so. You remember White Russia, you remember Stalin and Roosevelt, deals over our heads. And I would maybe mention two American presidents who kind of was closer to us, Reagan and Bush the Junior, who fought for Ukrainian membership action plan, but the rest, we just remembered Clinton and Budapest Memorandum. Few days he signed it with Ukrainians, Russia invaded Chechnya. Clinton was comparing Chechens to confederation. You have to annihilate them, Putin. This is a problem. Until we do not solve that American problem, I don't think that we move at all, because that's the biggest military and economic power that is helping Russian Empire to survive. But we have to do much serious events in the biggest EU and NATO capitals as well. I don't think that Nordics and Baltics are your problem. We are more or less there. I would work a bit more on Sweden and Denmark. Finns are okay. Baltics are always okay. I would start digging deep in Berlin. Berlin today replaces America in most of Europe. In Lithuania, they're building the biggest military base after the Second World War. Germans today speak like Americans, and Americans unfortunately speak like Russians. So invest into Germans. This is the future of Europe. If Americans leave Europe, it will be handled to Germans in security-wise. And they are the only country in Europe that can place such a huge amounts of money for defense that they could defend us. So Berlin, Berlin, Berlin. You have Christian Democrats, you have Greens who are much closer to you. Liberals, well, they are dead, but okay, we can work on that. Then UK, it's a sleeping baby. They have hearts, you know London well, but they don't have money. They have just hearts. So let's work on the money side. Reform Party actually is speaking about that. I think they will win next elections, but also conservatives. Let's work on Brits. Let's come back to France. France might be a problem. Invest into those Macronists, invest into center-right maybe. Italy, Spain, countries that have military industries. We have to find people like me, and you have people like me in each political elite. But 3 Danish tricks that I learned: never speak with diplomats. That's why I quit the job. Diplomats will be performing the theater that politicians create. So who is writing instructions to diplomats? Politicians like me. First lesson, work with politicians. This is the future. They are changing the world. Diplomats are saving the status quo. Diplomats are challenging the status. Politicians are challenging the status quo. So politicians in each of these countries, find your own McCains. You have those people, and they are powerful. Okay, second thing, you already more or less have, but you have to make it stronger. Think tanks, the wise people. Most of you are wise think tanks, who are not afraid to speak the truth. And actually, in normal societies, it's difficult to fight the truth. But you have to work in, organized and united way. Like in America, in a conference, Prime Minister will come, you have still a right that is alive. You have National Endowment for Democracy. Those are old Reagan instruments. They are still alive, and I think they will survive the disaster. You have Heritage Foundation that is not so crazy as it seems. You still have great people like Carafano and others. You have American First Policy Institute, very close to Trump, because we still have to survive 2 years of Trump. And they're kind of okay. General Kellogg is there, and for good reason. They will be with us in Vilnius. And I think after Vilnius, we have to make big events in America after elections. Now they're busy with saving their own little okay seats. But let's do an event. For example, December 1st, we have a big ADU event, center-right event, from 2nd to 4th. Let's do it 1st of December in Washington. You have to work with congressmen, mostly of Cuban descent, who are now making a revolution in Cuba. Marco Rubio will be with you. You take half of Washington with you. And the last layer are journalists. Journalists are also not afraid of truth, and politicians should react, and diplomats, well, they have to react. So work with journalists, work with the best media, create your own outlets. I created some crazy Lithuanian American podcast, for example, because I need to educate the young generation about that. Why don't you create huge anti-colonial podcast? Why not? You know, somebody has to organize it. You have wonderful speakers all around, but not everyone here. Who's here? That we have to spread, because nobody knows the issue. For Zbigniew Brzezinski, it took 20 years to educate stupid, sorry Americans to learn that not all in Soviet Union you don't have Soviets. There is no nation like Soviets. There are Ukrainians, Lithuanians, you have different religions. It took 20 years for Zbig to explain it. So guys, we didn't even start the war. Let's start it with media. Thank you.